Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter Podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. And we have a great show for you today. And as always, if you want to call in and ask some questions, you can call in right now, 323-870-3857. We'll be here till about 8 o'clock tonight. And tonight, we're going to talk about Bob Arum says the Pacquiao-Crawford fight is now dead. We'll tell you why that may mean trouble for the Fury-Joshua fight. And Felix Verdejo is in some hot water, and we'll tell you all about that. But first, we get started with Omar Juarez, our special guest here tonight. Omar, how you doing, man?
Very good, brother. Very good. Blessed.
All right. All right, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So you're now 11-0. 5 knockouts. Tell us about your last fight. Your last fight really surprised me. I'll be honest with you, against Elias Arahu. This really it surprised me in the sense that, like, I figured you would win. No question. I thought you were going to win, but I think it's the way you won that surprised me. This guy had a lot of experience coming out of the gate. You completely dominated that fight. At least from my perspective, when I watched that fight, obviously when you're in there, it may not feel like that. It may feel a lot closer because you're getting hit, you know. But from an outside perspective, as I'm looking at that fight, that was a dominant performance right there. Tell me a little about that and how you were able to do that.
Nah, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. But
yeah, of course, man.
Nah, it was ever since I saw that I was actually supposed to fight this fighter. I mean, not this fighter. I was supposed to fight somebody else, but I was supposed to fight him like in February. And then a storm had hit Texas. We ended up not fighting. So I was doing all my studying on pressure fighters, basically. So luckily, when they swapped our opponent to this particular fighter from Argentina, I saw they were both pressure fighters. So I knew if I'm 100%, I know I'll be able to pick this guy apart. He'll probably get a couple of punches in, but he's going to get them, you know, when all the leverage is off, or I'll probably roll with the punch. You know, I knew I was going to get hit no matter what, but there's a way to get hit as well. And there's a way to, you know, counter punch inside the pocket. I knew my abilities, and I told myself, I'm 100%, you know, this guy's not going to do anything to me. But it was more of just self-confidence, you know, believing in myself. And we had a really good training camp. I left no stone unturned. And it was a good experience, very good experience.
How long do you train for a fight like that? As far as, like, say your last fight coming in, I mean, what's like your average camp now?
Well, man, it's been changing, you know, drastically, because I only had two, I believe 2 8-rounders, and right after that, we went straight to 10. And even when I was at 4, I did maybe 4 or 5 4-rounders. I did 1 6-rounder, and I went straight to 8. So they've been switching every now and then, but for the most part, I'm staying active. That's the thing. You know, I'm very dedicated inside the ring, outside the ring. So I try to stay, you know, below 15 pounds of my weight. Try to stay as active as possible. Even try different forms of physical activity, such as yoga, swimming, stuff like that. Stuff, as long as I'm, you know, active, I think I'll be good. But really, for this training camp, I was there for about 2 months and a half.
Gotcha. And so, like, you know, what was the reaction after your win here? Were people surprised by this, or you know, I mean, because like I said, I mean, again, man, you were stepping up in competition. As far as, like I said, when I saw this guy's, like, his record and everything like that, he's got a lot of experience, and just the way you handled him, I think that was just like, wow. What was the reaction after that fight?
Yeah, a lot of people. We got a lot of calls before the fight, actually. I mean, it's at the end of the day, I like to say that, I mean, this is a famous quote that I heard a long time ago, but at the end of the day, people are fuel. And a lot of people were doubting me, saying that, you know, I shouldn't take the fight. It's going to be a very tough fight. I'm not ready for the opposition. But I told myself, I told my team, I know I'm ready. So we just stuck to the game plan, you know, hit and not get hit. But we definitely did get a lot of people that were surprised, which is,
that's, you know, great, man.
Thing.
Oh, Omar, you know, with the pandemic, a lot of fighters haven't been active, but you've been steady active. 2020, you had like 4 fights.
Yes, sir.
How were you able to stay so active? Were you pushing PBC to get your fights? Were you on the horn with them saying, hey, get me the fights. I'm ready. I can go as many times as you want. And you had a fight in December and you were right back in there in April. Talk about that.
Well, I knew that as soon as things started to close down, things were looking.
Yeah, we might have lost this connection here. Let's see here. See if we can get him back here. Let's give him a minute. See if we can come back on here. Some
it's tough sometimes when you're on the go there. You're in the gym.
Yeah, well, exactly.
If you're dependent on Wi-Fi, sometimes it's kind of glitchy.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of glitchy. Sometimes it's trying. We'll see if we can get him back on here. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get him back on here in just a second here. Meantime, I guess while we're waiting, this was his first 10-rounder. I think this was his first 10-round fight.
Yeah,
I believe, for Omar.
It was his first 10-rounder.
Yeah, and I tell you what, man, he really did impress, man. That was one of those guys. Like I said, we expected him to win. I didn't expect him to win like that. It was a dominant win.
Yeah, it was a whitewash. It was like
a
whitewash.
Did not expect that at all. Playing matchmaker, realistically, he's got 11 fights. How fast do you really step this guy up as far as this competition and everything goes?
I don't know. I don't know if you'd want to put him in there with a Baranchek type guy just yet. I don't know. I think just keep doing what you're doing right now. Yeah, no problem.
Oh, that's okay. Now, Omar, let me tell you this. Now, while so this is a quote from my wife, because my wife is she's actually at her sister's house and she's watching the interview. The direct quote: "Ooh, that guy you're interviewing is a cutie." All right, this is the direct quote from my wife.
Can't say that. You can't say that. Come on, that's a conflict of interest right now. Come
on. So my wife loves this interview. So there you go.
So talk about the activity. How are you able to stay so active despite everyone else really not being active because of the pandemic? Because you haven't used the pandemic as an excuse at all. You just kept on trucking.
Yeah, like I said, as soon as everything started happening, I knew that tough times weren't gonna last. So I had to stay ready. We were training, very different training in our house, training in our garage, having to do everything there at our house. But we had to do what we had to do. I kept my weight down, and they had called around July, late July. They had said, we're going to try to bring it back, but there's going to be a lot of regulations, a lot of rules. Talking about the PBC bubble, stuff like that. So I told them I was ready. Just give me 4 weeks, I'm ready. And so from there, I'm blessed that I have the best team in the world. So they were keeping me active.
So how do you feel about Texas having no restrictions right now? That there's like it's wide open right now. Do you hope and expect, sooner or later you get a fight in Texas too, so you can have some of your hometown guys come out for you? Is that something that you're hoping for? Is that something that could possibly be in the works?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I mean, I tell them all the time, just give me a week off. I'll be ready after that. I'll get my rest, but really it's whatever they say, but I'm really hoping here in Texas.
Let me ask you a question. So at your stage, at the stage of your career right now, like I said, you're 11-0. You're not immediately thinking about title shots and everything like that. I wouldn't think right this second, but is the best thing for you now is what you look for, like in the fights, is just to be on TV. You want to get more notoriety and kind of want to build your name up and everything like that. Is that what they look for when they say, hey, Omar, you're going to fight next. We're going to put you on this pay-per-view, or we're going to put you on Fox or something. You want to be kind of on TV. Is that what they're looking for?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Right now, it's just about building my record, making a name for myself. And once, I'm able to get ranked, once I'm making noise in my division, that's where I can start, not really calling people out, but targeting, I guess, opponents. But right now, it's just about building up my name. I only have 11 fights. I'm still learning in the sport, and I'm open to learning anything right now. So just taking it one fight at a time.
Now, the fight before your last one was a quickie. It was a first round knockout. Obviously, this one went the distance. You don't get paid by the hour. I know you want to knock out everybody if you could, but are you kind of glad you got some rounds in, just for the experience, and you were in there with a guy that was a little tricky and crafty? It was a step up. It seemed to be to me. Are you happy with the way the fight went, and you glad you got the rounds in?
Yes, sir, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I always tell everybody it's nice, to knock people out. It's nice to get the knockouts, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to get ready for those 12 rounders. If I knock everybody out, I feel like going 12 rounds in my very first 12 rounder would be very difficult. I knew that this fight was going to last all the 10 rounds. I've seen this guy's fights. He's never been stopped. So I knew I was going to go the 10 rounds, but I knew that his particular style was going to be able to bring out the best in me.
Very good. Do you still do motivational speaking and everything like that?
I actually did one a couple of days ago, and it was a Zoom call. I did 63 students in one class and about 52 in the next one. But it was a Zoom call, and it's different, bro. I mean, I really want to do it in person. It's kind of a different feeling, but I try to do what I can do, and hopefully, starting the next school year, we can start going to some schools, even if it's COVID regulations. I still want to be able to speak to the students, eye to eye. But I love what I do, man. I love what I do.
It's insane. I mean, I saw a video. I think you were like 17 or 18, and they showed you at the school. And I mean, it was like, my God, I mean, you seem so polished and everything like that. I mean, it was like crazy. He just goes up there and like he's been doing it for years, man. I mean, he was just completely polished, man. I was like, really impressive, man. Really impressive.
We need motivational speeches right now because of COVID. The kids are probably all depressed and stuff. This is what we need right here. This is what you're making a joke of it, but Omar will tell you, man, a lot of kids out there right now need a pick-me-up. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think Beeb needs a pick-me-up. Why don't you give Beeb a motivational speech?
Always need it. Always need it. I'll be searching some of those speeches on YouTube.
All right, Omar, we're going to let you go, man. We're going to let you get back to training. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I tell you what, and we're going to have you back on again if that's okay, and probably after your next fight, and get you in here to talk about it, man. We appreciate you.
No, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. God bless you guys.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Good luck, man. Nice seeing you again, man. Good luck. Kid looks
Good
a lot
stuff,
like me.
man.
See how he has the same hairstyle as me and everything? I mean, wow. We could be like brothers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
you must have been thinking that.
You must have been thinking that. Looking at you and him, it was like looking in the mirror. Yeah, it really was. I mean, oh my God.
That was me like 10 years ago.
Jesus. That wasn't even you 30 years ago. Okay?
Oh, stop with your haterism. You need to get the hate vaccine. I know you got the COVID. You need to get the hate vaccine.
The kid looks like a model, and you're sitting there. He kind of looks like me. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
right. The wrinkle. Look at this. Look at the skin. Look at the sheen. Look at the sheen.
The forehead looks like it's suffering from erosion. What's
cut it
out. Yeah, that was no kidding. So midway through, as soon as he got cut off or whatever, Lisa texted me. She was like, "Oh wow, he's a cutie," I was like, what? I'm trying to do a show here, I'm trying to keep it somewhat professional. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was a little sexist coming from Lisa, to be honest with you.
Well,
just saying, I
don't really want to get too deeply
he didn't
involved.
come on here to be objectified. I mean, he didn't come on here to be objectified.
I don't want to be too deeply involved here, but I'm going to even get myself in trouble. A little bit of a double standard. Can we agree on that?
I agree. I agree. Hey, where's the Me Too for me? You know what I mean? Where's my Me Too? Where's that at? I don't get it, babe.
A little bit of a double standard.
A lot of a double standard. Tell you that. I mean, a guy comes on here and then he gets hit on by my wife. Go figure that one out. I don't get it.
What are you gonna do?
Jason says you're getting Botox.
A lot of people jealous of me right now.
A lot of people drinking Haterade.
He saw a picture of my biceps on my Facebook, right? And he says I photoshopped it.
Why are you putting pictures of your biceps on Facebook?
I did it, just my guns were popping out. This is not Photoshop. There's nothing photoshopped about this. Cut it out.
Why are you taking like body shots and posting them up like you're one of the Kardashians on there or something like that? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, the guns just pop out. There's no. They can't be contained. I'm sorry.
Andre's a big fan of yours. He says Beeb looks great at 50-something. 50-something.
I'll be 52 in December, man. All you haters.
Are you? I thought you just turned 50.
No, I was 51.
Oh, wow. So
I'm 51 right now. I'm going to be 52.
So you're deep into 50. You're deep into 50.
I'm deep in it, man.
I've
lived more years than I got left. I hate to say it, but it's the horrible truth of the matter.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like more than, what are we going to do?
I lay awake at night thinking about it, man. Jesus, what am I going to do in 10 years when I'm 60?
Yeah, we're on the downhill, man. You use on a downhill.
So I go to the gym. I do what I can do, Try to get in those fruits and vegetables. I mean, say your prayers, eat your vitamins like Hogan. What can you do, right?
That's right. That's it. That's how you're doing it. All right, man. All right, so let's talk about this pay-per-view last night. Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola. Okay, well, Andy Ruiz wins a unanimous decision, which shocked everybody, over Chris Arreola by the scores of 118-109 twice, 117-110. Arreola had his moments early in the fight, man. He knocked Ruiz down in the second round, had him hurting again in the third round. Listen, man, at the end of the day, Arreola did a lot better than anybody expected. But he still lost the fight pretty clear. I didn't pay for this fight. I caught the last 6 rounds, and then I watched the first 6 later on. That's how I do things, baby.
Oh, my God.
That's how I do it, son. I told you I wasn't paying for it. I told you.
You know what?
I was real honest about that.
In fairness to you, you stuck to your guns.
That's how I do it.
I can't. I have to give you credit. You stuck to your guns.
That's how I do it. Let me tell you what. I'm glad I didn't fork out the money. I'll be honest, man. Honestly, but I tell you this, man. If this is the new Ruiz, I'll take the old Ruiz because it didn't look that impressive to me. It didn't look that impressive. I thought he should have knocked him out. After the fight, what was funny though is like, okay, so after the fight, I'm reading a lot of social media and everything like that. No need of cases. Ruiz lost the fight. All right, man. So a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I knew Chris Arreola wasn't going to get knocked out. Oh yeah, I knew he was going to be a tough." Shut up.
Cut it out.
Just shut up. Everybody and their brother thought Arreola was getting K'd in this fight. Everybody did. You know what I mean? So, just knock it off here. After the fights, this was nice. After the fights, Chris Arreola was classy as always. Expressed displeasure with the scorecard, stating to the judges, quote, "All y'all can suck my mother effing blank."
Thank you. See, you have class. This is a family show. You blanked it out.
I got class. You
want to know what's even worse? I love Chris Arreola, but he's got his son sitting on his lap at the post-fight press conference.
Oh, and what did he say? F the judges or something like that?
He's dropping F-bombs. It reminded me back in the day at Sunday dinner at my table. I was getting flashbacks. That's how bad it was. I was getting flashbacks. I never heard so many F-bombs since I was 15 at Sunday dinner, man. That's how we got down at the Beeb house.
Maron.
But he's got the kid couldn't have been more than 9 years old, right? Sitting on his lap, and he's sitting there dropping F-bombs, and the son's just like this is how it is at the Arreola residence. This is how we talk.
This is how we do it, baby. Yeah, right.
Horrible.
I tell you what, and I mean, Chris Arreola can complain all he wants. Listen, he lost the fight. It was pretty clear he lost the fight.
Well,
I mean, I gave him about 2 rounds. I can give him about 2 or 3 rounds.
I gave him 2. That's what I said. I gave him 2 rounds. The most you could have given him was 3. And then like again, I hated how the commentators were
like it was a tight fight or something like that. I mean, what are you watching?
And credit to Brian Kenny for saying, okay, just because some of the rounds are, there's moments in the rounds where Arreola's looking competitive, you still got to add the rounds up and you score the fight, and it is what it is.
Right.
You don't give a guy more credit because you thought he was going to get knocked out, but he didn't. You don't score action because the fight's exciting, because the guy's got an exciting style, because the guy's showing heart. there's nothing in the scoring criteria that you get points for those things. Andy Ruiz was a little rusty. Okay, I cut him some slack for that. But I will say this. I thought the combinations were sharp. He was never a defensive specialist, but he was always good at tucking his chin. And when he usually does get hit, usually gets hit on the top of his head mostly. Never really gets hit flush. He rolls shots. I don't think he looked bad. I know a lot of people are saying he didn't look stellar. A lot of people were expecting the knockout. But the guy was off for almost what? How long was he off for? Like almost
he was off for a bit. I mean,
about a year and a half, right?
Yeah, and this was, but in all fairness, Arreola was set in there to make him look good.
Yeah,
and he didn't do that. I say that, but he won every round. So what? I don't know.
See, I'm going to be honest, and I respect everyone's opinion because what you expected is what you expected. I expected the knockout. I thought Arreola was going to get destroyed. Arreola did do better than what I expected, and I will say this. The outcome of the fight was the best possible scenario because Ruiz came back, got rounds in, and Arreola put up as good a fight as he could, showed a lot of heart, landed a good right hand every now and then, scored a knockdown. It was a flash knockdown, but it was a knockdown. Ruiz got up, but again, this whole thing about the scorecards, at best, Arreola won 3 rounds. I gave him 2. You could have any scores ranging from 116 or 111 to 119, 109. You didn't have to give him that 3rd round if you didn't want to. I mean, it was kind of a swing round, But I thought that once Andy did get into the rhythm, once he was closing the gap, once he started getting low and tucking his chin and making himself a compact target inside, I thought his combinations were fluid. I thought he was sharp, crisp. I thought he looked okay. He didn't get the knock.
Looked okay.
Yeah, I didn't think he looked bad.
That's it.
I didn't think he looked bad.
No, I don't think he looked bad, but I mean, everybody was expecting this new and improved Andy Ruiz. He had lost 30 pounds, and everybody just expected to come out like a flash, and that wasn't exactly what we got,
Yeah. And
a lot of people in the chatter thought the scorecards were ridiculous too. I didn't think the scorecards were ridiculous at all.
All I got to do
bottom line, it was lost. I mean, that's all you have to do. I mean,
tell me the rounds you gave Arreola.
Yeah.
I mean, 2nd, 3rd, maybe the 8th if you wanted to. Other than that, how did he win rounds? He wasn't. The thing about Ruiz is he's very active. And another thing too is he never looks tired. No matter how heavy he is, no matter how light he is. He's always got that engine about him, He's got that. Yeah. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He never huffs and puffs in the corner. He never looks tired to me. I'm going to be honest. If I was to grade Andy Ruiz's performance last night, I think I'd give him an 8. I don't think he did that bad. 7, okay, that's fine.
He looked exactly, to me, he didn't look, there was nothing different about him other than his weight loss.
And now here's the question. Did it take a lot out of him losing so much weight in a short period of time? Number one, did it make him weaker? Did it take anything off his punches? Did it make him less effective in terms of power punching? Did it take any power off his punches?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that the weight loss really, I'll be honest with you, I don't know the weight loss really hurt him because he was training at the same time. He was losing weight. He was losing weight gradually into camp. Yeah. He didn't just lose it in camp. He lost it up to camp. You know what I mean? Okay. It was before he was coming in. So he had already lost a significant amount of weight. Camp took the rest of it off. No, I don't think the weight loss, and really, like I said, I mean, it was 30 pounds. He looked like he lost a lot more. We talked about that on Thursday on D-Style show. But Maestro told us, he said it was the body composition that changed.
Yeah.
So he's only lost 30 pounds, but he looked like he'd lost like 50 or 60, when you look at pictures. So
now let me ask you another question, because a lot of people, based off of what they saw last night, they're sitting there saying, well, if that was Deontay Wilder in there, he would chew him up. Now, my whole response to that is, let's take a look at some of these Deontay Wilder fights. He was losing before he knocked out Gerald Washington. He was losing before he knocked out Spilka. He was losing both the Ruiz fights. Like, again, if he doesn't knock Ruiz out and Ruiz puts rounds in the bank and the fight goes to goes to the
there's no way
distance.
Wilder's winning a decision against him.
Yeah,
but that fight is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, if Wilder, that's what I'm saying. If Wilder doesn't knock him out, then Ruiz could grind out and outwork him and win a decision on the inside.
Right,
in my opinion. And Ruiz got a great chin. I mean, he got hit by Joshua, got knocked down, and got up. So Joshua hit him with several good shots. So if he could take Wilder's right hand, and he can get inside on Wilder, because Wilder doesn't throw a lot of punches. He throws one punch at a time. He's not a big combination puncher. He's not a guy that throws a ton of punches. He's a guy that looks for that one shot. And while he's looking for that one shot, if Ruiz can get inside, even though Ruiz doesn't have the quickest feet in the world, and Wilder does have some pretty decent foot speed, but he doesn't really use it because he stays stationary a lot.
Right. He tries to load up.
And he loads up. So I think that, I'll be honest, I'd pick Ruiz in that fight.
Yeah, I think that fight's a no-brainer. I'll be honest with you.
Ruiz got dropped, and he wasn't hurt. It was a flash knockdown. He got up, and he was not in trouble. He got up against Joshua. Joshua hit him with several good shots in that fight. He got up, and he knocked Joshua. I mean, again, I just don't understand what these people. I just don't get it. I'm sorry, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I just don't get it.
Let's talk about the undercard real quick over here, and then we'll go to the phones. Abel Ramos versus Omar Figueroa. Ramos beats Figueroa by TKO in the 6th.
Did you see him spitting up blood in the corner? He was spitting up gobs of blood in the. I've never seen someone spit up that much blood. It was crazy, the beating he had to. He
doesn't have any defense. I mean, he has zero defense.
Yeah, he's
nothing. He doesn't move his head. He doesn't put his. Nothing.
He's got to take.
He's been like this his entire career, son.
Yeah, he's got to take a look at this tape and ask himself, "Do I want to continue here?"
He ain't looking at this tape and asking it. I'm telling you what, man. That guy. Yeah. I mean, look. I know his trainers know what they're doing. You just get hit and you just revert back to what you were doing. That's just slugging, man.
Covering one side of your face and leaving the other side wide open. What's that all about?
I knew it was a matter of time before he got, he got blasted, man. Sebastian Fundora, 6'6", this guy is, versus Jorge Cota. This might have been the surprise for me. I didn't expect it to end like this. He just beat up Jorge Cota all night. I expected Fundora to win the fight. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. And then Arislandi Lara on the undercard. I think this was on Fox, if I'm not mistaken.
I saw this. Yeah, this was a good fight.
It was a good fight. It was a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, but what's crazy? People are saying that there's people on Twitter saying that they think Cornflake took a dive. I don't see how that's.
He took a dive on that left hand he got hit with.
Yeah, I don't.
He got starched, son. That was solid. That wasn't no dive. He got hit solid, son.
If he took a dive, then he should be in Hollywood right now, because that was.
He got blasted. That was a straight shot too. He just got blasted, son. Yeah, 1 round. Yeah, he took a dive. He wasn't gonna win that fight. Who's saying he took a dive? He went he was gonna he had a shot to win in that fight. He wasn't winning that fight, son.
No, he wasn't winning that fight.
You could see he was setting him up. I mean, just that quick, man. He was getting.
And we've seen Lara do that before too. I mean, Lara.
Yeah, and it's not like Cornflake, like we're sitting here like, oh man, he was gonna win, or he had a shot. We knew he didn't have a shot. We knew this was like a squash, man. I told you the whole card was a squash.
Yeah, I didn't like the undercard at all. I'm going to be honest with you.
The undercard was terrible.
Jason's trying to tell me the undercard was good. There's no. I mean, the main event was.
Shut up.
The main event was okay. It wasn't a great event. The DAZN card was way better. There's no question. It was way better.
All right, let me go to the phones here. We got Robert, and then Baltimore's online as well. Let's go to ringside. Robert here. Robert.
Hello, guys. How are you?
What's happening?
Hi, Robbie.
Oh, let me ask you a question. So you actually paid for this last night?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I watched all 14 fights yesterday.
He had it counted out. He had 14 fights.
Yeah, well, if you count the cards, there were 7 fights on the
I
DAZN
get what you're
card.
saying. I know
There
what
were
you're
3
saying.
fights
I thought it was
there
funny
were
that
3
you counted
fights
the
on
number of
Fox,
fights.
and
What
then
I'm saying is,
4 on pay-per-view. Yeah.
yeah, what I'm saying is, I thought it was funny that you counted the number of fights. Nobody ever, I never sit at the weekend and say, I watched 15 football games or I watched
yeah.
4 fights. I mean, I watched the fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched all 14
I
fights.
watched all the fights yesterday. Yeah, all 14 fights yesterday.
So you got the zone now.
Yep. I paid for the year.
So how do you like it? How did you like it?
Well, like Beeb said, the DAZN card was much better than the Fox card.
I said that. I said that last week.
And but no, you know what? I don't regret paying for it because it was a good deal, and the fights were entertaining. But for those of you that think Chris Arreola won that fight, please go back and rewatch it because you don't know what you're talking about. I scored the fight 10 rounds to 2 in favor of Andy Ruiz. The only 2 rounds I gave Arreola were the second and the third.
2 and 3.
That's
That's it. I mean, and I don't think anybody, what's funny is everybody's bashing the scorecards, but nobody thought Arreola won. You know what I mean? I don't see anybody saying,
And then Sean Porter was bashing the scorecards, right? And he scored the fight 116 and 111. So he gave Arreola 3 rounds. Wow, Sean, you gave him 1 more round than everybody else. Wow. Who gives it? I mean,
guys, I've come to the conclusion, guys, that whenever there's a Fox pay-per-view and Joe Goosen has to work one of the corners of one of the fighters, that's who those commentators are going to support because, we have to support our buddy. But that's not how you cover a boxing event. You cover a boxing event by telling everybody who's watching what exactly is happening in the ring. Joe may be one of your best friends in the entire world, but if his fighter is losing, you need to make that clear. I mean, you got so many people now, he did better than he was supposed to. Yeah, maybe he did, but what does he get for it? He lost. And in my opinion, he only won 2 rounds.
Wow.
You had these idiots last night talking about, well, let's do this again. What's the purpose of doing it again? You want to see Arreola get hurt even worse?
Wow, that was callous, Robert. I'm very surprised at you.
It's a cold hard truth.
Well, I got a few other opinions, Eric. You may not like. One of the best.
I've got a few also.
On the DAZN card. One of the best fights on the DAZN card yesterday was Katie Taylor.
Yeah, I didn't catch that fight. Let's talk. I tell you, wait. Why don't you hang on here? I tell you what. You stay on here. We're going to talk about the DAZN card real quick.
Hang on. I'm not going nowhere.
All right, hang on 1 second here. All right, so let's talk about this beef. The train wreck of the week this week. Let's talk about Derek Chisora. What an absolute baby this guy is, man. So they had a coin flip to see who was going to come to the ring second. Chisora lost this coin flip. The day of the fight, Chisora tells him he's not walking out first. And if they don't change it, he's pulling out of the fight. Then had to be calmed down with a phone call from his mom, son. His mom telling him basically to go ahead with the fight. This dude is completely unstable. Beeb, he's your boy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it was a publicity stunt. I showed
Son.
I showed you what they paid him for that fight. The guarantee he allegedly got.
Good, man. Yeah. What was that? That guarantee was like $4 million.
Well, that's pounds converted to dollars. That's like $6 million, bro.
Yeah. It's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of scratch.
You can say what you want about him and Dillian White. I like both of them. I think they're both very entertaining to watch. But those guys, like I told you, those UK fighters and those UK fans, they pay for those pay-per-views. And the reason why those pay-per-views are so cheap is because you know how much Sky costs as a subscription for a month? Sky, like their channels are like $40 a month. Their premium channels are like $40 a month, where our Showtime and HBO is like $15 and $13 over here. The reason why their pay-per-views are so cheap, I found this out. I knew this a couple of years ago, but I forgot about it too. Is Sky's like triple the price that friggin' HBO is. the subscription, the regular channel.
That's
you know what I mean?
insane.
So that's why. But yeah, I mean, there was no way he was going to walk away from that payday, and like
he'd have been stupid. There's no way he was walking away from $6 million.
And there's no reason for guys like him and Dillian White to come over to the United States and fight because they're making shit tons of money. Look what Katie Taylor's making.
What did you say? Yeah, what did Katie Taylor make? $1 million or $2 million?
Well, again, that's pounds.
Right.
Convert that to dollars. She's made $1.3 million for that fight. Chris Eubank Jr. made 500,000 pounds. Convert that to American dollars. That's $690,000 for a tune-up.
Claressa making her last fight? Because that was that pay-per-view or whatever that like 5 people watched.
I don't think she made anywhere near. And this is where this is where the jealousy.
Is every time she's out though. This is every time she's out. Yeah.
Katie Taylor is a $1 million fighter every time out.
Yep.
And I don't know why Amanda Serrano would not want to what's her name?
She's all talk. She's all talk, son.
Jonas got 350 pounds, which equates to $500,000.
Right.
Which was by far the most she's ever got. So I don't know what Amanda Serrano was offered to fight Katie Taylor, but
probably a lot more, you know.
Think. If it's 750,000 or 500,000, that's a lot more than she's getting right now. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I don't get it. Like you can't. It's hard to criticize these, what's going on right now in the zone because these guys. I mean, the zone's putting on great cards, and that was a very entertaining card from top to bottom. I enjoyed the card, really did.
Asim Khan in the chat says you can buy a Sky pay-per-view without being a Sky subscriber, right? I mean,
yeah, you can.
Yeah, I thought that was like a Showtime, kind of like Showtime pay-per-view.
We can do that. We can do that here.
Yeah,
we can do that here because you have digital streaming now. Yeah. So anyone can buy a digital pay-per-view now. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, since we're on Katie Taylor, let's talk about that fight before we address the Parker fight here.
Sure.
Katie Taylor won a hard-fought unanimous decision over Natasha Jones, 96-94, 96-95, and 96-95. Unanimous. Was it really that close?
Yeah, it was 9. I had it 96-94. Oh yeah.
You had a 96-94.
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Jonas is a great fighter. She was making the adjustment. She's got like I told you before, she's got phenomenal footwork. She's really got great footwork. Katie Taylor was reaching in a little bit with that jab, and she was just sliding back just a little bit, and she was coming right around the jab with her right hook. She's a very crafty southpaw, and she was going to the body well. She in the beginning of the fight, Katie Taylor was coming forward, and Jonas was just standing there trying to hold her ground. But then when she started moving and giving Katie Taylor angles a little bit, she was creating openings for herself. She was making Katie Taylor have to reset and kind of reach for her. And once Katie Taylor started reaching, that's when Jonas, caught her when she was extended, and that's when she came over the top with the nice right hook, straight left down the middle, and then she would slide in, and she was ripping that left hand to the body too. Katie Taylor is a phenomenal fighter because she's just such a pinpoint accurate, fluid combination puncher. She's like, bah, 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 and she knows how to feint her way in. But because Jonas really was making a lot of subtle movements on the turn of a dime at the last minute, she had to make Katie Taylor reset. And, she wasn't able to always feint her way in and step in with the jab the way she wanted to. So I credit that to Jonas's superb footwork. Like I said before, I think she's got excellent footwork, and she's a quick young lady herself. She's a quick little woman herself on her feet. So I just think it was, for me, I'm going to be honest with you, that was the most entertaining fight of the weekend for me. And it was the only frustrating thing about it is the 2-minute rounds. That fight would have been phenomenal if it was 3-minute rounds. And I
don't understand it.
And during the buildup, Tasha Jonas said if there was ever a fight that would be ideal for 3 rounds, it would be this one right here, because both her and I are nonstop. We're both big punchers. And Jonas is a really sharp punch. She's a sharp puncher. She's kind of explosive with that left hand. So yeah, it was a great fight. It was a great fight. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm just again, man. The 2-minute rounds. I mean, why not? But we can beat that to death. It's not going to happen. I mean, it is what it is. A lot of people I think didn't Clarissa Shields had actually called out Katie Taylor, but they're in two. There's no way she can get down there and wait. That's silly.
It's even a stretch for Katie Taylor to go up to 147. Really,
I don't think she can. I think she's too small.
Now she may go up there and fight McCaskill, because McCaskill's got the that would be a rematch because I think they fought. I want to say they fought at 140 before, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 140 they fought at. But yeah, that would be a rematch, and they could fight at 147, and that would make sense, Yeah. But they're talking about that, which is a potential fight down the road. But
yeah, we'll
it is
see,
what it
man.
is.
Maestro says that Chisora should have gotten the nod. I had him winning 7-5 plus a 10-8 round.
That's what I had, 115 and 112.
Did you give it to Chisora?
Oh yeah. Robbie gave it.
I give it to.
No, you
gave it to Chisora too.
You had it Chisora. You had it 114 and 113. You had it 6-6 in rounds.
That's right. I sure did. Here,
ask Robbie his scorecard, because he gave it to Parker.
Robert, what was your scorecard?
I had it 114, 113 for Parker.
Yeah.
I wanted to give it to Zora, but when I wound up scoring it, it wound up being for Parker by 1 point.
Robbie, did you give the?
I
don't mean to cut you off. I apologize. Did you give the fifth round?
Okay.
Did you give the fifth round to Parker too? Because some people gave the fifth and sixth round to Parker, and they only gave Chisora the first 4. I thought he clearly won the first 5, but
I gave him the first 5.
There are some people that gave Parker 5 and 6.
Yeah, I'm
what
one
round
of those.
Did you give Parker?
I did get. I'd have to go back through my card, but I know 2 of them I gave was 5 and 6.
Okay.
Beeb, who did you have? What
go.
rounds did you give Chisora, or what rounds did you give Parker? Did you give him the 6th?
No, I scored the first 6 for Chisora.
Okay.
And then I gave the 12th to Chisora. Now, and I gave 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I gave Parker 5 rounds. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I got Chisora. I gave him the first 5. I gave Parker all the way up to the 12th. I gave Chisora the first 5 and the 12th. I thought the 12th round was where I really thought, I was like, this is going one way. And Chisora, for as gassed as he was gassed around the 4th round. I've never heard anybody breathe that heavy before in my life in a corner. I mean, it was bad.
But he came back in that 12th, man.
He sure did. I thought he was just busier. He was busier.
Yeah. So I'm this is just my opinion, and I'm not, and I've been on the wrong side of scoring. I've scored fights. People like, what are you talking about, Beeb? But this is just my opinion. Now, I thought that Chisora clearly, at the very least, clearly won the first 5. And I thought he clearly won the 12th. And then he had the knockdown. So I thought he clearly won 6 rounds. Now, okay, the fight's close. So sometimes people will say, well, the fight was close. Just on the sheer fact that the fight was close, they say it could have gone either way. Now, there's such thing as a clear-cut close decision. Like that Chavez-Whitaker fight, the one that was a draw.
Yeah.
I scored that 7-5 for Whitaker. A lot of people scored that 7-5 for Whitaker. That was the most common.
That was about it. Yeah.
But when you look at that, you can say that's a close fight, right? But Whitaker clearly won those 7 rounds. It was almost impossible.
Won that fight.
It was almost impossible to give them to Chavez.
Right. This
is what kind of frustrated me yesterday, and I get it. I mean, again, I'm not the end all when it comes to scoring fights. Like Robbie scored it for Parker. I'm not going to argue with them. But when I was watching this fight, and at the end of this fight, I'm saying to myself, there's no way they're going to give this fight to Parker. I mean, Chisora is the hometown fighter, but without even thinking about that, I thought he clearly won the first 5, and I thought he clearly won the 12th. I thought it was very hard for me to see anyone giving Parker any of the first 5, but some people gave him the 5th. So okay, maybe I'm wrong, But at the end of this fight, I said to myself,
I'd love to see these two do it again, to be honest with you.
They have to do it again. I think it's a no-brainer.
Let me tell you what, I'm not a big fan of rematches, but I wouldn't mind seeing this fight again. I thought it was really entertaining. I thought it was kind of a tale of two fights. You had the first 5 or 6 going to Chisora. The last one's going to Parker. I mean, it was really good. It was really entertaining.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt bad for Chisora after this fight, but then when I found out how much he got, I didn't feel as bad. I was like you got paid.
Act like a baby beforehand. No, I don't feel bad for Chisora at all.
It was all part of it. It was all publicity. It was all publicity. Kind of some slack. It's all publicity. Kind of some slack.
You know,
a little WWE action. A little WWE action.
I tell you what surprised me about Parker is, to me, that guy doesn't have any killer instinct.
Oh yeah, none.
He just has none. I think he was afraid to get in there. Not afraid. I think he was afraid of what was coming back. I really do. I think he was afraid of what was coming back, because there was a couple of times in those later rounds that he had Chisora hurt and he wouldn't step in to finish him. And then the other thing was, why didn't he go to Chisora's body? You know what I'm saying? Like, he never went to Chisora's body.
Eric, I don't know about the two of you, but I've never been a real Joseph Parker fan. And, so I was really surprised that he fought as well as he did yesterday. And you're right, he does not have the killer instinct. And you could say the same thing about Chris Eubank. Now, in his case, maybe he just wanted to get rounds, but in his fight, there were several occasions where he had the guy hurt and he backed off.
I'm not a big fan of that. Let's get rounds in. No, because you're in there with no headgear on, right? And you're in there with small gloves.
Right.
He could have taken him out in that second round without question, in my opinion. But then he backs off and tries to get rounds in. Anything can happen from there on out. You can get caught with a lucky shot. You can break your hand. You can get butted and have 16 stitches in your head. It's not worth letting the guy off the hook. You want to get rounds in, you want to get work, stay in the gym and spar. Just spar. You don't. When you're getting paid to fight in front of people and you're under the lights, that is not meant to be a sparring session. I hate this. Let's get rounds in. Let's get rounds in. Now, if you're in there with an opponent that is going to force you to get rounds in because of his style or whatever, and he's going to make you work hard and you have no choice but to get rounds in because of the guy you're in there with, that's a different story. But just to sit there and hurt a guy and have him wobble him and have him go back, and then you stop and you back up and you let him off the hook because you want to get rounds in? No. I'm not about all that carrying bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm just not with it.
Yeah. No.
I'm not with that.
But that criticism aside, though, I've got to say, I think Roy Jones is going to do wonders for him, because I've seen a completely different fighter than what I saw the last time I saw Chris Eubank fight yesterday, and maybe that was one of the reasons why Roy told him in the corner, hey, we need rounds. I don't know, but maybe he wanted to use that fight for working on things. But in the second round, especially, he had the guy hurt. It's time to finish the job, and I was like, that to me that's a big mistake. But
yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
The whole card yesterday was definitely interesting to watch, and of course, looking forward to Canelo and Billy Saunders this weekend. So,
Robbie, I'm so happy for you that you got the zone right now. I'm almost as happy about you getting the zone than you are right now. That's how happy I am right now for you getting the zone.
Well, once I learn how to
feel good when people
learn how to navigate,
you know what I mean? It's a good endorphin release. You don't realize these things. You don't have the emotional construct that I have. You don't have these feelings.
Oh my God.
Wow. Once I learn how to navigate the app completely, I can go back and start watching all the fights I've missed.
I'm only a phone call away, Robbie.
He can go back 5 years and watch all the fights that he missed.
Eric, I plan on doing a lot of that.
I watched the whole season of Cobra Kai in one day.
Cobra Kai is awesome, though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cobra Kai is so good.
I binge watch everything, man.
You watching that show is so good. It's the best show on TV. Man, I Temptation Island.
I stayed up so late watching that. I had to call in sick from work the next day. Told him I had something happened. I couldn't come into work that day because
happened. I broke my back.
I don't want to tell him that. I don't want to tell him that
Spinal.
I don't want to tell him I binge watched Cobra Kai. That's why I can't come in today. But I didn't go in the next day. Let's just say that.
All right, Robert, we're gonna get running. Thanks for calling in, man.
Okay,
Enjoy the zone, man. Enjoy it, man.
Happy. I'm so happy he got this.
I am
I'm so
too.
happy for him.
I am, now that I got it, I definitely am. And I'm going to stick around. So if you want to come back to me, I'll be here.
All right, man. Sounds good.
I love him. I just
JC
I just like success stories. Go ahead.
JC said if he can navigate Brazzers, you can navigate the zone.
Oh,
Baltimore 443. You're live.
What's up, sir? It's Troy.
Troy,
what
what's
up,
happening?
baby? Told you that fight was dead.
Good, man. Good.
I told you
I'm
the
still
fight
gonna run
was
out of
dead.
quarters for this phone, man. Huh?
I didn't even know they still had
They
payphones.
still have
Yeah,
payphones.
I didn't know they had payphones.
No, I'm messing with you. I don't know where to
All right.
start. I mean, the fight card last night, all up to Derek Chisora was pretty decent. You know, the female fight for I think the best fight on the card. And then, and then Chisora came on and did his job. And then they robbed the man in his home country, which ruined the entire mood after that. How and why they did that, I do know.
I really felt.
I mean,
bad.
because what is the game?
I was surprised. I was actually surprised
I
that they
felt
didn't give it to him.
That was such a great
Right.
performance from him last night, man. 37
What did
years
one
old.
judge have it? 116, 111?
One judge only gave him, I think,
That's crazy.
One judge
Right?
gave him 3 rounds. I was like, what the?
Yeah.
What is this?
I don't know. That was the judge out from New Zealand, right?
No, he's from Poland. No, he's from Poland. That was a
I thought
Poland.
I thought the Polish guy
Poland.
scored it for
It was a Polish judge.
was it? That was
Yeah.
the Polish guy?
Yeah, the Polish guys only gave him 3 rounds.
No, but
Wow.
yeah, but it was a judge from New Zealand that did him 32.
The other ones were 115, 113.
I don't
Yeah, the other
see how
ones
he
were
won.
close, like 115, 113.
See, this is
man.
a crazy thing. Like 2 judges scored 1 even
Yeah.
round. That's the only way they could have got that.
See, I hate
I hate
that. Yeah, I hate those even rounds. Got to go, man.
They do that. They do that in Europe a lot.
They love that in the UK. Yeah, they love
I
even rounds.
hate even rounds. It aggravates me. Well, even the Katie Taylor fight, they 2 judges scored 1 round even in that fight too. They had it 96-95. It's crazy.
No, but you could tell that you lost a fight when your trainer Andy Lee comes out and says,
Yeah,
he
said
lost.
that.
You know, I don't, yeah.
Because I don't know if we're gonna
Yeah, he
get
did.
this. He said that. He goes, I don't know if we're gonna get this one.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. That was tough.
That's a killer instinct, like you said. And then the fight with Chris Arreola and Andy Ruiz. Andy wasn't complaining because he was saying he won. He was complaining because the judges only gave him 1 round. That's what he was complaining about. They
I only gave him 2.
That's what-
So
Yeah, I only gave him 2.
I only gave him 2 rounds. So I mean,
Well, all I know is he looked like he went to fat camp and lost weight, and he had a limp. And every time he tagged him with that right hand, he was hurting Andy Ruiz every single time.
Wow.
So I don't know if he's that good or Andy was never that good in the first place. But I'm proud of Chris, man. You know, he lost the weight. He came in and put in good work. As far as his language, he's always been that way.
oh yes,
You know, you name your interview where he didn't cuss. Yeah.
I'm just saying to myself,
Chill out on HBO after a while, you know.
but he's 40 years old now. I think he should start chilling out a little bit with the language. I mean, he's he's a father and everything.
Well, hey. He's stuck in his ways, man. You never know. You just
Maybe I'm a
probably
prude.
wake up in
Maybe
the
I'm a
morning and say,
prude.
"Good effing morning."
Maybe we're just getting old, Beeb. I don't know.
Just getting
maybe,
old, man.
maybe we're too old for this thing, you know.
I gave up. I gave up using the
Yeah,
F word
you
for
know-
Lent this year.
Yeah, I asked this question last night. Where does Andy Ruiz go now? You know, who's next?
Wilder, Deontay Wilder.
Wilder's retired, man. Wilder's retired. Please.
Wilder's not retired. Wilder's not retired. Did you see? I didn't see a retirement press conference.
Retired.
I didn't see a retirement press conference.
Okay, listen.
Fighting
I
Fury
saw him
next.
boxing in
Did
his
you see a
home.
press conference for
Fighting Fury next.
He's fighting
Did you
Fury
see a
next,
press
that's
conference for Hagler when he retired?
right. I know he went to
No, you
Italy.
didn't. Can you still hear me?
Listen, he had a torn bicep tendon. All right, he's recovering from the torn bicep tendon. All right, We got to give him that. All right.
Okay, he's retired. I'm gonna stick to my guns on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick to my guns, man.
I would like to see him. I would like to see him fight
training
Wilder
videos you
next.
put up.
I would like to see him fight Wilder next. If
want
I
some
had,
fight Wilders.
I think
would like to
that's
see
a,
him.
to me that's a no-brainer fight to make. You know.
You know what? I don't really care to see that cat fight at all. He's not really my, not really my thing.
Yeah.
It took him 6 months to lose like less than 30. Was it 30 pounds he lost? It took you 6 months to do that.
He looked like he lost a lot
man,
more, but yeah, I was
man.
surprised that he was just 30. But like they said, it put a lot of muscle on and
It's a
stuff
lot-
like
it's a
that.
lot
He
of
looked
weight.
good. He
That's a
looked
lot of
good.
weight. 30 pounds, a lot of weight.
Yeah, he looked good, man.
Yeah,
Look good.
yeah, but I gotta give both of them their props because that fight was fought at a very high pace. That fight was fought at a very
Yeah.
high pace with two big men, and I gotta give them their props for that. And Chris is a tough dude, man, but his shoulder was dead. You noticed that, right? When he got hit on the shoulder,
Yeah.
his shoulder was dead, man.
Yeah, it looked like his shoulder went out.
Yeah.
So who would you like to see Ruiz fight next?
He could go fight. He can go fight the win for all I care. I don't. To be honest with
Go
you,
fight the
put him
win?
in with Charles Martin, man. Let him fight Charles Martin or something. There you go. Charles Martin need a fight. He need a fight. Put him in Charles Martin. That'll be a good setup to say, okay, I'm fighting him because I need practice with Wilder. They both tall, even though Charles is southpaw. They both tall. Yada 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 yada, and go from there, right?
I don't like that
If he
fight. I
gets
think that's a
past Charles
walkover
Martin,
fight. Well, but I thought this
lose.
was a walkover fight too. So who knows?
A walkover fight for who?
I thought it was a walkover fight for Ruiz.
If he can't get Wilder, he should fight Luis Ortiz. That's right, Sneezy Foster. That's right.
That's a terrible
There you
fight,
go.
man.
Yeah, you know what?
No.
That'll be a good fight. And he can have that fight in Mexico too, because he don't speak English. That's right. Thank you. That's a good fight. And that's a good check for. That's a good check for a Luis Ortiz. He can retire and get some more S curls and leave the sport of boxing. But yes, very. You know what, man? I don't say this a lot, but you're a very intelligent man. Very intelligent man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I think he might have been referring to Sneezy, who actually had the fight out.
I hear that a lot.
Trust me, he never hears that.
Okay, now I'm going to self-promote some if you don't mind, all right?
Go ahead.
Are you cool with that?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, well, tomorrow night, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can,
Okay,
yes.
Okay, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Come on, cut it out, brother. But, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock on Major Keys Boxing, we're going to have...
okay, you're going to make a promotional
Nicholson.
announcement. Go ahead and promote what you're going to promote.
I just did.
We didn't hear you. What did
I said tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Major Keys Boxing. Damon Nicholson will be on there, and he's going to be interviewed tomorrow night.
All right, we'll tune in.
And that's the same fighter, who just lost to Berlanga, but he's the first man to take him all the way.
All
there
right.
you
That's
go.
the first man that he could knock out.
Okay.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, so just confirmed it tonight. He's definitely going to be on there, and look for more things to come in the future, depending on how this one works out.
All right, man. Good stuff.
So definitely,
That's a good interview right there.
yeah, yeah. And also, I heard you mention Katie Taylor and how much she's making. Why isn't it that Shields never fights overseas in the UK? Because I think she'd make more money and actually make herself a bigger name.
Because her management sucks.
Does anybody know why she never fights overseas?
Because her management sucks.
Huh?
That's simple. That's simple. Management sucks. Sign with DAZN, sign with somebody else.
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right, right? I mean.
Yeah, because me personally, because if I'm carrying the mantle of the best female boxer of my era, and someone else is making more than me, I'm gonna go find out. Hold on now, I got the name, but you got the money. Hey, something ain't right over there. So I'm going right to the UK, and I'm gonna plant my roots right there. You understand?
I hear you.
Who do they have over there that can fight Shields anyway in the UK?
Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall.
Huh?
That's the Savannah
That's the
Marshall's
big one,
probably
yeah.
one. Yeah,
There you go.
She's a WBO middleweight champ. That's one of the best fights in female boxing you can make right there. That and Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano.
There you go. All right, Troy, we're going to go ahead and get moving here, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Make sure to catch his interview tomorrow on his channel. So there you go. All right, let's talk about ESPN, and then we're going to move on to next week's fight. We're just going to touch on this. Sonny Edwards versus Marudi Thalane. All right, so Edwards was a big underdog. I think, what was he, a 4-1 underdog, B?
No, it wasn't that bad. He was like a 2-1 underdog. It wasn't that bad.
It was a pretty big underdog, I think. I don't know.
No, I checked the odds. I checked the odds because guess who
check
bet
the
him?
odds?
Yeah, because Chikala wanted to bet him.
he was asking him about this fight. He was going to take Thalane. I think he took Thalane.
No, he took Edwards. I told him.
Did he really?
I'm glad he didn't listen to me because I thought Milani was going to win the fight.
Yeah.
I thought Milani was going to stop Edwards. And thank God he didn't listen. Thank God, because originally he liked Edwards, and he asked me who I liked, and I said I like Milani. The one thing he hates is he hates like fighters that are old. Like when fighters are old, he like fighters get like past 30, he thinks they're done. So because this Milani guy is a little bit older, and Sonny Edwards was young, and plus the fight. Well, he was also concerned because the fight was in the UK too. So
right.
I
tell you what, I didn't expect it.
I did not think Edwards. I didn't think Edwards was going to win the fight. I thought he was going to get stopped. I told Chikala I think he's going to get stopped. Yeah, and he didn't.
I tell you what, man, one of the biggest upsets so far. Defeats Thalane by the scores of 120 to 108, 118, 111, and 115, 113. Man, I'll tell you what, Edwards boxed a perfect fight here, man. He wouldn't let Thalane get close. He controlled the distance. He controlled the tempo. That movement, son. After a while, you know, the only thing that Thalane could really do, man, was land that one big shot. That's it. That's all he had. He wasn't outboxing this guy.
He was chasing him all night.
And he wasn't cutting the ring off. He was chasing him. That's a big difference, man. Yeah. I tell you what, I'm really happy that Edwards won this fight. I was really pleased, man. I one of those things where you're like, and we always try to remain biased, but you always, you have your favorites and you have, when you're watching a fight, you root for him. And
he's a nice kid. He's got a good story.
I'm really glad, man. I really am.
Yeah. Both the brothers are good.
A great win. Yeah. Yeah, nice exactly. They Charlie like Edwards.
Nice Charlie Edwards is nice too. They seem like really nice guys.
Yeah. On the undercard here, man, I tell you what, Michael Conlon versus Ayano Baluta. Conlon wins a majority decision by the scores of 117, 112, 115, 114, and 114 all. Conlon started off good, man, but Baluta, he came on toward the middle rounds and made a fight of it, man. He was busier in spots. But all in all, I thought Conlon won the fight. It was 115, 114 might have been a little close, a little closer than what it should have been. But Conlon won the fight. But he's been tested, man. I mean, that's what you want to see. That's why you move him up. So they say that he's going to go for a title in like 6 months. They want him on a 6 month track, so he may fight again and then fight for a title here in 6 months. So we'll see, man. We'll see. He seems to have, he's got skill. He's got a good skill level. He's a good fighter. We'll see what happens, man.
Should be interesting.
All right, so let's talk about the upcoming fights here, and then we'll get into Felix Verdejo, his situation. I'm not sure I want to get in that situation. I tell you what,
it's kind of weird. I don't know.
That's a tough one, man. I tell you what,
it's kind of sad.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're trying to go around OJing people. This is what happens.
Yeah.
May 8th, Arlington, Texas, on DAZN, Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders for Alvarez's WBC and WBA super middleweight titles, and Saunders' WBO middleweight title, super middleweight title. Elwin Soto versus Katsumari Takayama, 12 rounds for Soto's WBO junior flyweight title. Kieran Conway versus Suleiman Sissoko, 10 rounds junior middleweights. Frank Sanchez versus Nagi Aguilera, 8 rounds heavyweights. Let me tell you what, this card is the drizzling you-know-what, because they have one fight on there that anybody's really interested in.
Yeah.
No name, nothing on there. I mean, it's terrible.
Boxing just can't get that momentum going. Like they'll have a good card and they just can't ride it. You know what I mean?
They got nothing here. I mean, you could have put somebody on this card, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this was terrible. That is an awful undercard.
I agree.
It is what it is, you know, and that's pretty much all the boxing we got this weekend. But let's touch on this Canelo Alvarez, Billy Joe Saunders thing for a minute here. Beeb, you know, Canelo is a tough out, obviously, for anyone. He's the best fighter on the planet right now, in my opinion. Billy Joe Saunders does have a really good style, and I think he is going to give Canelo a lot of problems in this fight. Does he beat him? I don't know. I'm still on the fence on this. I don't know. Every time I pick against Canelo, though, or I think he's going to have a close fight, he ends up blowing the guy out.
Yeah.
I do think that Billy Joe Saunders, while I'm not ready to pick against Canelo here, I want to wait and see the weigh-ins and everything like that. But I'll tell you what, man, for me, Billy Joe Saunders, and Andres in the chat says BJS looks very motivated. He's in great shape. He looks like he's ready to go. I think we could be looking at an upset here. Now, whether that happens or not, I don't know. I don't even know who I'm picking in this fight. I'm still on the fence here.
Yeah.
But if anybody has the style to do it, you know, this has given him problems in the past, this type of style. But again, that was the past. Canelo is a full, complete fighter. Beeb, how do you see this fight going?
But the big problem I see for Billy Joe is I think he's lost a little bit of a step, even though he's got great footwork, whatever. I think he's lost a little bit of speed to his footwork. I think he's just a little bit off with the reflexes. I think he's getting a little older. And I also don't think he's got enough power to get Canelo's respect where he's going to stop Canelo from coming forward. Canelo is just really tricky with those feints. He just always seems to find a way to get inside, cut that ring off. And he's really learned how to deal with these types of movers that, you know, he's had these types of fights before with Lara and Mayweather. And, you know, he's learned, and even Austin Trout, and he's just learned how to cut the ring off. He's learned how to, like I said, use the feints. He's learned how to move his head on the way in. He's just become so much more difficult to deal with. And I just have a hard time seeing Billy Joe Saunders be able to move the whole fight and not have to stand his ground at some point and try to get Canelo's respect. And when those moments do arise, that's where I think Canelo's going to shine, because Sugar Ray Leonard once said, he goes, you know, you can't move the whole fight. You have to, at some point, plant your feet, stand your ground, and you're going to have to fight the guy off. You're not going to be able to move the whole fight. No, it's just not humanly possible. No one has a gas tank like that. No. And Billy Joe's really, you know, he can try to grab Canelo, but is he strong enough to contain him up close? I just think it's a tough ask. Plus, he's going to be in Texas with all of those screaming fans for Canelo. I think the play here is to just pick the fight to go the distance, or you could just pick the fight to go the distance, and you'll get a -115, almost even money, and that way, no matter who wins, as long as the fight goes the distance, you win the bet. So if someone is on the fence, you know, I think Canelo's going to win. I would probably pick Canelo with the decision prop. But, another move another play I'd recommend is just betting. You can just bet the fight to go the distance at a -115. That way, regardless of what happens, as long as the fight goes the distance, which I think it will, because Callum Smith went the distance. I think Billy Joe Saunders is cagey enough where he can survive.
You're not knocking
right?
Billy Joe Saunders.
I don't think he's going to knock Billy Joe Saunders out.
That,
so my recommendation here is just bet the fight to go the distance. I think Canelo's probably going to win this fight 7 rounds to 5, 8 rounds to 4, but one of the judges is going to have it 118 and 110. So it
doesn't matter. That's the other tricky thing. If you're thinking about it, man, it's going to be tough for Billy Joe to win a decision here in Texas.
I could see myself scoring this fight maybe 115 and 113, 116 and 112, but maybe a swing round here. But the fight's going to be 118 and 110, 117 and 111.
I was just about to say that. So if you're scoring at home, if you score this fight,
I'm going to write my scores down right now.
If you score this fight at home and you got a 115, 113 for Billy Joe Saunders, trust me, Canelo's winning that fight. You know, He's not losing that fight in Texas.
Here's my
That's
scorecards.
on a scorecard anyway.
I'm writing my scorecards down right now. 117 to 111, 118 to 118 to 110.
117, 111.
And I'm gonna do 116 and 112. These are gonna be these are my scorecards right here. Remember I said it. 117 and 111, 118 and 110, and 116 and 112.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
And my scorecard is gonna be 115 and 113.
These haven't watched the fight yet.
I'm just saying. I'm just guessing how I'm gonna score it. These are just my predictions. That's
my prediction for the judges. That's my prediction for the judges. Yeah. The one,
117 and 111, 118 and 110, and 116 and 112. Those are the scores.
Do you think that Billy Joe Saunders is as good that the last time Canelo saw this type of style, a style this good, this evasive, was against Mayweather? Not saying Billy Joe Saunders is Mayweather, but I'm saying this type of style where he's that elusive.
No, the thing with Billy Joe Saunders is he's like Lara, mostly legs.
Yes.
Not as much upper body movement.
Right.
And that's so that's the difference.
A lot of people thought Lara beat him though.
I had Lara beating him.
Right.
But I had it 115 and 113. You know what I mean? It was so,
if you're gonna bet, like I tell you, if you're gonna bet on this fight, then bet going to distance.
Bet it going to distance. That's it.
I wouldn't pick either guy.
You can get almost even money that way. That way you're not going to be like freaking sweating it out.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a tough fight, man. That to me is one of the fights I've been waiting for all year. I've been waiting for that fight for a long time because I thought that Billy Joe Saunders has the style to beat Canelo. He's got the style to beat Canelo. Whether he does or not, completely different animal. But he has the style. He has all the tools to beat this guy.
And here's another thing too. And this is horrible to say, but this is the harsh reality of the sport. He's probably saying to himself, I'm going to Texas. The deck's going to be stacked against me already. I'm probably going to be down 3 rounds before the fight even starts. That may force him to kind of fight outside of himself a little bit and take more chances.
It might, but my guess is it won't. My guess is that they have a game plan and they are going to stick to that game plan. Okay. And the game plan will be Billy Joe Saunders boxing the way we've always seen him box. He's going to pull a Tyson Fury. He's going to box just like he normally boxes and try to win that decision. As hard as it may be and as uphill as it may be. And hopefully they win this in the, if he doesn't get it on the cards, maybe he gets into the public opinion and maybe it's enough for a rematch. We don't know.
I also agree with Claudia Monreal. I actually think Lara is a better fighter than Billy Joe Saunders.
Come on, stop it.
In my opinion.
Nah.
I think he's a better fighter. I think he's more skilled.
I don't think so. Lara's more skilled?
Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
I think so.
I don't know. They're both the same type of fighter though.
No, I think Lara's a little more crafty.
Well, I tell you what, I think Lara's got a little bit more pop, put it that way.
I just think he's got better. I think he's got better upper body movement too. Like I think Lara's legs, but he has a little bit of upper body movement too. He's like always moving his head. Billy Joe Saunders, I don't know.
He doesn't get
the most impressed. Well, he got tagged a few times against Monroe. Like I had him the Willie Monroe fight. I had close 115 and 113. The Andy Lee fight I had razor close. Could have gone either way. He's been at Chris Eubank Jr. He just scraped by that fight.
Oh, I thought he smashed Chris Eubank Jr.
I had that fight tight, bro.
I didn't have that fight tight at all.
Oh,
I thought that was a wide.
A long time ago. You remember it? I mean, all right. I had it tight. Judges had it tight too. I think he's been in. Now the David Lemieux fight was his greatest performance. That was the best one. That was the best. That was the best when he missed that shot and he did this. Yeah. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I don't know. In my opinion, I think Lara's a better fighter.
Yeah, I wouldn't sleep on Billy Joe though. I know there's a lot of Canelo fans out there, man, and but I would not sleep on Billy Joe Saunders in this fight, man, for sure. No.
Yeah, I think he's going to lose, but I mean, an upset is not impossible. I'd be a fool to say that.
If Canelo goes in there and washes him, like whitewashes him, I mean that guy.
But here's the thing, though.
Oh no.
Let's look at the odds, but then let's also listen to the.
Yeah, what are the odds on this? Yeah, what are the odds on this?
Canelo's like a 4-1 favorite. Canelo Saunders odds. But now everyone's saying that this is going to be a competitive fight. I don't want to hear at the end, oh, Billy
Yeah, I
Joe
told you he was
Saunders
a bum,
sucks.
a Euro bum. He's
Yeah,
a
I don't
Euro
wanna
bum.
fucking
He's
hear that,
washed
man.
up.
Alvarez Saunders odds. Here we go. Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me?
What's that?
Alvarez is a minus 750 and Saunders is a plus 470.
Wow.
I don't know, man. Is it worth throwing? Is it
Wow.
worth throwing $50 on Saunders for the plus 470? I don't know. Fuck. Plus 470. Jesus. He's a huge favorite, Eric. Huge favorite. Yeah. Minus 700 plus 450.
Wow.
And then one site has him. One site has him as a minus 750, and Saunders is a plus 470. So
that's a big. I tell you what. That's now with.
He's almost a 5-1 favorite. The odds
that's
makers
not a bad play. I'm gonna tell you what. Now that's not a bad play on Saunders.
Yeah, if you want to hedge it, you can hedge it, and you can hedge it. You can bet the fight going the distance, and then just put a little tickle on Saunders to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't put much on Saunders to win, but I would. You could put money at those odds. Yeah, that's like Andre says. It's a 5-1. Yeah, it's crazy. Wow, giving him no respect, son. All right, let's go to the news and rumors here. Beeb, we're gonna start off with this one, man. This is a crazy one. So Felix Verdejo, his girlfriend is missing. All right, so his girlfriend went missing I think it was earlier this week or whenever. I don't know. It was pretty recent. I think it was this week. But that's when I heard about the story. So they've since found her body. They found her yesterday. She was so brutalized that the police had to use dental records to identify her.
Shame.
Felix Verdejo refused to speak to police under the advice of his attorney. I mean, he went down there but wouldn't answer any questions. He's a person of interest. I don't know that they haven't labeled him as a suspect, but he's a person of interest. Verdejo's girlfriend was pregnant with, from what her family claims, Verdejo's child. The police went to Verdejo's mom's house to impound his car, which was, I guess, Verdejo's car or his van or whatever it was, I guess somebody had seen her get in that or something like. Anyway, that car was right there. So they impounded his car. They're looking for evidence. This is bad, dude. This reminds me a lot of the OJ thing. It really does, where you're see all these little links. Not a suspect yet, but don't do anything crazy like leave the country or anything like that. This isn't good, man. This isn't good for Verdejo, man. Not good at all. And they said that she was pregnant. Like I said, that she was pregnant. Her family is saying it was Verdejo's kid. The rumor is, and the rumor was that Verdejo wanted her to get an abortion. And I guess she was like his side chick because I believe he was married. I saw somebody in there say that his wife filed for divorce last week or something.
Something like
I
that.
guess he was married. I guess she heard about this. And then, I guess, but from what I was reading, one of the stories I was reading said, and again, this is all rumor and everything like that. So I don't know the facts. What I just told you was the facts. But the rumor I heard was that Verdejo she was pregnant with Verdejo's kid. Verdejo asked her to get an abortion. She wouldn't. And then all of a sudden she just, disappeared. So yeah, man, not good, man. Not good. And I don't know the speculation from what I'm reading, again, speculation, was that Verdejo maybe hired somebody to do this. You know what I mean? And, yeah, JC in the chat saying that Verdejo threatened her before. Again, I don't know anything about that. I'm just telling you what I've read and everything like that. And again, just like the OJ case, I'm sure when the facts come out and the facts are like laid out, we're going to get a better picture and everything like that instead of a lot of, innuendo and stuff like that. But yeah, this is when I saw this, and Top Rank actually put out a statement saying something to the effect of, our thoughts and prayers are with the girl and her family and stuff like that. And we have heard, everything going on, and we're definitely going to keep an eye on it. So not good, man. Not good.
Yeah, I can't even begin to comment on this. I don't know.
Awful. Just
I
awful.
don't know what's going on. I don't know what what's going to happen. I don't know what the evidence is. I just don't know.
And somebody had related it to like the Edwin Valero situation and stuff like that. Again, we don't want to jump to too many conclusions here. It's horrible.
You're innocent till proven guilty, but there seems to be some.
But in Felix Verdejo's case, there's a fire in the kitchen. There's a bill collector at the door, son. So he's got some problems now. A lot of evidence pointing his way. So
there's a lot of evidence pointing his way.
Just horrible thing. Like what people get pushed to, and you know what I mean. Like
it's kind of.
There's always a way out, man. It doesn't have to be that way, but there's always a way out. There's always It's terrible. It's terrible.
Horrible.
Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather is taking place on June 6th, which is a Sunday. This fight was originally scheduled to take place on June 5th, but that would have competed with the Triller card. What's crazy about this is that they're both going to be pay-per-views. So you can have a Triller pay-per-view on Saturday and then a Showtime pay-per-view on Sunday.
Dumbest thing. It
really is. I mean, the Triller pay-per-view at least has Teofimo Lopez on it. So I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
This is going to be this is a miscalculation, I think, on Floyd Mayweather's part. And Showtime's going to back him up on it. But why? Like, are people going to really spend? And here's the thing: how much is this? How much is it going to be?
Who knows? Probably $80.
If they decide,
how much did we pay for the McGregor fight? Wasn't it $100 for the McGregor fight?
Something like that. Now, if they decide to make this $80 and it's competing with Triller the previous day, like people are going to say, do I want to spend $50 to watch this Triller card? Or do I want to spend $80 to watch the other one? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Lobitos Den Boxing says, he has a question. He says, Ryan, talking about Ryan Garcia here, has allegedly been partying. What do you think about that? Okay, so Ryan Garcia, let me give you a little background on this. So Ryan Garcia pulled out of his fight against, who was he fighting? Beeb, who was that guy he was fighting? I can't remember. But either way, he pulled out of the fight, okay? He pulled out of the fight, and then he's, now he's been pretty open about his depression issues and stuff like that on his social media, that he has depression and everything like that. The problem is that he pulls out of this fight the next minute, the next day, his girlfriend is on Instagram making out with him, and then like they're showing you a picture, they're like on the beach. Javier Fortuna, thank you, Lobitos. Javier Fortuna was the guy he was supposed to fight, and so that was the thing, man. So he pulled out. Then his girlfriend on Instagram the next day shows them at a beach somewhere. It looked like somewhere tropical because it was like ice blue water, man. And he's making out with her, stuff like that. They're hugging up on each other. It's not a good look. Listen, whatever he had to do for himself, and he said he pulled out due to, he said he wanted, his well-being as well as his health and everything like that. Listen, I don't give you a bad, but look, man, I mean, this is like calling into work sick and then going out to an amusement park later that afternoon or something like that. But and then claiming, I was sick this morning, but now I feel a little bit better now.
Then making a video of it and sending it
sending
it to your boss's Facebook.
You gotta know, and I know the kid's young. I get it, man, but you gotta know. I mean, I don't care how old you are. I don't care. I mean, you got to know that's something, that's not going to be a good look. So whether you meant to do it, whether you didn't mean to do it, whether he had depression or he felt anxiety about the fight or whatever, listen, he had to feel something because he pulled out of the fight. He didn't listen. I'll tell you like this. I don't believe that he just pulled out of the fight to go on a vacation. Okay. I don't believe that. I don't believe. I think he has definitely got more professionalism than that. I don't think he pulled out. I think he pulled out. He probably pulled out for the right reasons. I think he probably pulled out for the right reasons.
Like Rungvisai, same situation.
He's got girl problems, man. I told you right here on the show. He has girl problems. He's got chick problems.
He was going through some depression,
Got 99 problems, son.
He battled through it.
Yeah, you feel bad for him.
No, I said he battled through it. Rungvisai, he battled through it, man. I was in his corner.
I
was pulling for him.
You were setting them up on Tinder and everything like that. We're going to get you some new women here. Swipe right.
I was talking to him.
You're talking to him. What's the matter with you?
Tell him to keep his head up.
Yeah, I mean, but again, man, I think he does have some kind of mental illness. I think he does have a depression issue and stuff like that. I don't think he did it on purpose. I just think it's a bad look. It's unfortunate that, his girlfriend posted it. It's unfortunate that he let it go out like that. So he's got to be a little bit smarter, a little bit more savvy when it comes to that stuff. But at the end of the day, he pulled out of the fight, and I think it was I think that was a right call for him. For whatever reason he had to pull out of that fight, I think it was a right call for him. I don't think, again, man, I don't think that his girl wanted him to go on vacation, so he said, screw the fight. I don't think that happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, man, I mean, let's be honest. That guy can have any chick he wants. So, that doesn't make any sense to me. It was just a bad look. It's just unfortunate. You know what I mean? So yeah. So Pacquiao and Crawford, that fight is dead in the water. Aram says the Pacquiao-Crawford is a dead deal. This is interesting because this feeds into what Beeb has been saying for months now, and that's the Fury-Joshua deal, okay? So he said that the Crawford-Pacquiao deal is dead in the water because with COVID going on in the Middle East, that they're really starting to crack down now where they weren't before. They're starting because it's starting to hit them over there, a little bit harder than it should. So they're looking to crack down over there, and they've got to have a full crowd. They have to have the capacity to pay these guys, I guess, what they want, especially Pacquiao, because he doesn't come cheap, So they said, "Hey, listen, man, we can't do it. We can't put the fight on." So, I guess Terrence Crawford now goes. Bob Arum said he's talking to some people about Terrence Crawford as far as who to fight next. Crawford just needs to leave Top Rank is what it boils down to. Go to PBC. That's where all the welterweights are. But that being said, let's talk about the Fury fight now. Where is that supposed to be staged, Beeb?
What happening?
Middle East. It's supposed to be staged in the Middle East. That's what Eddie Hearn said. He said that's where the site was, the Middle East, blah, blah, blah. Not to mention, how many times in the Middle East have we heard a fight was going to take place in the Middle East because they have all this money over there and they don't come through with the money.
They still owe WWE money that from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, they don't pay. They don't pay it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that, that coupled with the COVID thing, I don't know that fight will happen in the Middle East. That's a tough sell in the Middle East right now.
Then India, they just had a big spike in India. So what do you think that's going to affect?
Awful what's happening in India. My gosh.
How far is India from freaking Saudi Arabia?
Oh,
it's all close.
Right? Is it? I don't know.
Because Saudi Arabia is the middle. It's
Why
Middle
are you
East.
asking me this way? Listen, it's Sunday. I'm just saying. Never got an A in geography.
They're all
close to know.
They're all close together, Eric. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, if you say it, Beeb,
I'm from the Middle East. So I know what's going on.
You're from the Middle East.
I'm a Lebanese kid.
Just for your Lebanese, where were you born?
Well, I was born here, but I still have Lebanese. Still have Lebanese blood. Still have Lebanese blood going.
It doesn't mean you're from the Middle East, though.
My heart's in the Middle East.
What's the matter with you? Get it together over there, huh? What's wrong with you?
From Boston.
All right, 516, New York. 516, you're live.
Jesse Reekin here. What's up, brother?
You gotta wake up. When we go to you, you gotta wake up. You can't be.
I know. We've been calling you for 5 minutes now.
You gotta be. You can't be.
My bad. I'm gonna work over here. My bad. My phone came. You know what happened? My phone came off my charger. So.
That's wonderful.
What's up, guys? How's everything?
What's going on?
Big rap battle next week.
Yeah, man. Actually, this week on Thursday, can I promote it real quick if that's okay with you guys?
100%, baby.
He's going to promote it, but he doesn't have a date and time.
This week, man.
We got that squared away.
Mohegan Sun this week. Battle rap event that I'm throwing. Some of your favorite battle rappers are going to be there. I hope that Beep comes in the building and. If you follow Ringside Reporter,
7 p.m. Eastern time, baby.
If you follow Ringside,
7 p.m. Eastern time.
If you follow Ringside Reporter and you watch Battle Rap, then you could come. One. You say Ringside Reporter. I'll give you your ticket free, and plus another person.
Now, when you say you're going to be at the Mohegan Sun, are you actually going to be in the building or in the parking lot rapping? I mean, how does this going to work?
Eric, come on, Eric.
No, inside the building.
Take shots.
We
man.
we rented out the Comedy Store there.
The Comedy Store in the Mohegan Sun, baby.
That's appropriate.
Gonna be 1,000 people strong in there.
Um,
What are you laughing at?
right now we're looking at.
What's the overall
Right now
on people that
we're looking
attend
at
there, B?
75. Hopefully it'll be a
25?
right now. No, right now we're looking at 75, hoping for 100, 150. 150 comes, then that'll be great. We have like some heavy battle rappers there. Danny Myers, who has over 1 million views. So just come. I mean, come through, support. You know, I'm a little bit stressing over the event. But
He's a promoter. He's promoting this event.
He's doing a great job.
He's the promoter of this event. 7 p.m. Eastern time.
I'm
Mohegan
Jesse King.
Sun Comedy
I'm Jesse
Store,
King.
baby. Comedy Store, Mohegan Sun. 7 p.m. Eastern time, baby.
Give me a taste of what you're going to do.
9
Give me
p.m.
some of your rap.
It changed to 9.
9 p.m., baby. 9 p.m. We're switching it to prime time. We're switching it to prime time.
Give me a rap
I'm
here.
Jesse King. A rap here? I said, Eric, why you want to make me said it? Eric, bro, you know fun of me. Why you always trying to make fun of me?
I'm asking you to give us a rap. Was that his rap? Was that what he's doing?
No skills?
I'm asking. I don't know. I don't know.
That's what. This is what I'm doing. So let me introduce you like I'm the first draft, like Patrick Ewing. Eric, why you always so mad, bro? Is it because I got skills? Is it because Ringside Reporter isn't paying your bills? Is it because my battle rap views get more than your boxing show? Let me know. See, that's a battle rap.
He's killing you. He's killing you.
That was terrible, son.
He's killing you. He's killing you.
You see, I asked Eminem, he would come off like that, man, like that. But he came off with it pretty quick. He was good.
He was good.
But why are you comparing me to Eminem?
Jesse Rican is legit from head to toe.
Like,
listen to him flow. Eric, you don't know? Top-notch soldier. Kid, they should have told you.
Why you comparing me?
You really need to pack a lunch. This kid hits hard just like a Mike Tyson punch. This kid.
I think that was from your stuff, Beeb. I think that was from your stuff, man. I've heard that before.
No.
I've heard that before. I've heard you say that stuff before.
Top of the dome.
Top of the dome. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Top of the dome.
So, okay. So how does this whole thing work out now? Like, okay, so you get in there and then so do you know who you're going to, like, I guess, I can't say fight, but like, I guess rap against or whatever, or?
Yeah. It's like a boxing match. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are all set up and everything,
you have an
right?
opponent. Yeah, you have an opponent, and you write for your opponent for a couple of months and stuff. You set it up and stuff.
There it is. Jesse, give us a time and place one more time.
Mohegan's on 9 p.m. Eastern. This Thursday night, come say Ringside Reporter. You get one ticket and one ticket free. But hold on, can I say something about the match last night real quick too?
Sure.
Arreola surprised the hell out of me. A very entertaining fight and worth my pay-per-view money. And Arreola, you lost, bro, but no need to talk like that on your post-fight interviews neither. That was unnecessary. Those are my thoughts on last night.
I agree. All right, Jesse. Yeah, everybody, if you guys don't know, man, go out and support Jesse at the Mohegan Sun on Saturday.
9 p.m.
Go check
Eastern
it out,
time.
man. It's a good show. Go get a free ticket, man. Go get a free
Mohegan
ticket,
Sun.
man. Why not?
Comedy Store to Mohegan Sun, baby.
What else are you guys doing on Saturday night? You know what I mean?
Rocking the house at Mohegan Sun. That's what we do. That's how we do it here.
Or watching the Canelo fight. That's what they're doing.
East Coast? No, don't worry about that. We can
we got that on DVR, man. Don't worry about that.
DVR that, man.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Jesse Rican.
Go check him out.
Jesse Rican keeps flowing. You want him to stop, but he just keeps going. Eric is a hater. Look at his face. You can't stand that Jackie Reason is blowing up this fucking place. I'm going down there. I'm going down there, baby. I'm going down there. I'm gonna stop biting. I'm gonna stop dropping lines, man.
Wow.
Reese Mack. I mean, I'm just going off the top. I mean, I think you should get the hater vaccine, like Eric. You and Eric get the hater vaccine.
Hater vaccine.
Reese Mack says I'm biting. He thinks I'm reciting. This kid's whack. Look at him. He looks like the back of my balls when I take a shit. And he's trying to tell me that I'm not legit. I mean, I could just keep going right here. I could just keep freestyling.
Wow. That was
Reese
real
Mack,
special.
You're a faceless name. I'm at the top of my game. My style's insane.
Got a lot of fame.
My style's insane. I'm ripping people's backs out the frame.
Yeah.
I hit hard like thunder. Pure skills, I show them all. Suckers are watching in hysteria because Joe Habib blocks through your area. I mean, I could just keep going. What do you want to do? I'll just destroy you, Reese Mack. I'll destroy you, Reese Mack. Reese Mack, what kind of name is that? You look like my ball sack. You look like a dribble on the nose, coming out my nose, like a snot. Look at you, kid.
I kind of fell flat. I got to be honest.
I know.
Hey, listen, they can't all be A's. They can't.
I didn't want to keep going at him. I don't want to keep going at him. I didn't want to keep going. I'm going to hurt him.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You don't want it. Yeah.
I'm working him over like a $3 hooker. I hit him so hard. I hit him so hard. He's saying, damn, what the hell took me?
Yeah. Anyway, maybe you might not want to quit your day job there. Leave the battle rap to Jesse Reekin. What's wrong with you?
Once I start pulling out the heavy artillery on this kid, forget about it. He'll go home crying.
That's it. That's it.
May not come back in the chat.
Can't have that.
Reese Mack, look at you. You're sorry.
He can't think of anything else to go with sorry. All right, guys, on that note, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter at ringside73, and we will see you next week.